good to see you virtually over YouTube / however you're seeing this week. And this is our week 4 of our Mountaintop series for our Sunday school time. Week 4 is dedicated to Transformed on the Mountain is our theme. And so, as you already know, if you've seen these videos before, we're going to have a couple of reflection questions, a couple of passages that we look at, and just a couple of prompts and commentary on this certain theme. If you have your at-home lesson or worksheet in front of you, bring that out. If you don't have that, I want you to check your emails to look for that, because you should have it, because that'll help you go through this. So a couple of questions just to reflect on last week and also on what we're going to talk about this time is, how did you get to rest last week? How have you been changed during this Lent season? Maybe you have sacrificed something or are trying to fast something during the Lent season. And even if you aren't, that's okay, but maybe just reflect on how you've grown closer to the Lord, maybe how you haven't, maybe things you want to work on, stuff like that. And what have you learned so far in that? One passage that we're going to look at for this week is from Matthew 17, it's verses 1 to 8. Jesus was transformed before his disciples. Why is it important that we transform to look more like Jesus? Jesus was transfigured. Big word. This is a very holy moment, very interesting, and very amazing. To be transfigured means to have complete change of form or appearance into a more beautiful state. It's a lot like metamorphosis when a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. And why? What does this mean for us, especially too? The transfiguration was a sign to his disciples that he was exactly who he said he was. Jesus was the Messiah. Before, they kind of rejected the idea that Jesus was going to have to suffer and die for them and then rise again. And after this, Peter, James, and John specifically really saw Jesus differently. They were like, oh, this makes sense. It clicked in their brain. And this moment of transfiguration helped them see Jesus differently and to see him as the Messiah, the Son of God, because God said, "This is my Son whom I love and whom I am well pleased." Some translations say he is my beloved. And being met by the heroes of faith of Elijah and Moses. God's voice proved that Jesus was more than just your average miracle worker. He was the source of creation, which is amazing. We transform too, but not quite like Jesus did. The more we walk in faith, the more we transform and become like Jesus. In fact, that's what it means to be Christian, to be a follower of Christ. Next, we're going to take a look at Galatians 5, 19 through 26. Some questions to reflect on. What parts of the sinful nature listed do you struggle with? How are you following the Spirit's lead in your own life? There were 9 fruits of the Spirit mentioned. Which ones are easy for you, and which ones are difficult for you? Who we follow impacts how we act. List out the characteristics you might gain if you were to follow your friends, your family, certain celebrities, or anything else you can think of, other than following Christ. Lastly, we're going to read through Romans 5, 1 through 5. Privilege do we have because of God's love? How does going through the lows in life lead to better character? This week, your challenge is to think through some behaviors and sayings that are of the world and how God wants to change them. Write down a list of 3 different fruits of the Spirit that you want to see more of in your life. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great week.